Hey guys, so today we are in Unit 2, still talking about the environment, and we're on Lesson 4. And so today we're going to talk about forests and aquatic life and the importance of maintaining those and some jobs that come with those and ways that we harvest them. So first we're going to talk about forests. So I'm going to go through these and I'm going to show you some picture examples that they're talking about. So in the United States, we're split up into 4 forest regions. So I'm going to show you. This is how it's split up. So you can see Texas right there. Texas is going to be, it says the southern region. So that's going to be Texas all the way to Virginia, Kentucky. That's the whole southern region. So we've got the southern region. We've got the Alaska region. They get their own. We've got southwestern region, which is Arizona and New Mexico. We've got the Rocky Mountain region, which along those are the Rocky Mountains. So you've got Colorado, Wyoming, and that includes Kansas to South Dakota. Then we've got the northern region, which is our northern states of Montana, North Dakota. Eastern region, it's the Northeast. And then we've got the Pacific Northwest. That's going to have a lot of forest. Washington, Oregon. Think of a lot of trees. Pacific Southwest is also in California and Hawaii. So those are the 8 different regions. And then it goes on and talks about Texas. Well, it doesn't really talk about Texas, but we're going to talk about Texas because Texas, people don't really think has a ton of forest, but in East Texas, it really does. If you're from East Texas, you know the pine trees, you know that logging is a big industry, especially if you ever travel through East Texas. We go to Arkansas all the time, so we travel on I-30. Once we start hitting East Texas, going into Arkansas, we start seeing the logging trucks, and so that means we're getting close to all of those trees in the lumber industry, which is a really big ag industry. But this shows the national forests in Texas. So you can see those, most of them. Davy Crockett National Forest, Sam Houston National Forest, Sabine National Forest, Caddo. All of these are in the general East Texas region, like I was talking about. There is a few. There are a few up in the Panhandle. There's a little tiny one, Lake McClellan and Rita Blanca, way up north in the Panhandle. And then you've got Lyndon B. Johnson in North Texas as well. So unfortunately, southern and west Texas, we don't have our forest. We have other resources. But if you remember when you were little and you learned about the parts of Texas, the Piney Woods region, that's that East Texas region that's going to have our forest. So let's go back and talk about it. Forests are really important. I mean, think of all the things that come from trees, from your pencils to paper, lumber, building houses, baseball bats. These all come from different types of wood, and different type of wood is grown from all over the U.S. So ashwood, I know that this is grown in Pennsylvania. A lot of the bats from Louisville Slugger, they come from this one particular farm in Pennsylvania that grows these ash trees. It's really hard and durable, so they're going to use that for baseball bats. Hickory, they share this quality, and they're more likely for like construction. It's also one of the most popular woods used in smoking meat. Now, if you're a big meat smoker, you know there's lots of different ones. In Texas, we like mesquite because that's a mesquite natural wood. So there's lots of different trees, lots of different types for different things. Forestry is a really big industry in the United States. It is a huge agriculture industry. Forests are beautiful. They harness a lot of habitats and wildlife, so that's why it's important to protect them. That's why we have national forests. National forests are protected. So we've got Tongass. This Alaskan forest is 16.5 million acres. It's got hemlock, spruce, and cedar. Some trees are over 800 years old. That is insane to me. If you ever look and see a huge tree, just think about what all it has seen in its lifetime. Okay, then we've got Gifford Pinchot, it's got the volcano of Mount St. Helens. It's in Washington State. It's got a lot of animal species, salmon, trout, elk, black bears, mountain goats, and bobcats. Very beautiful. I'm not going to attempt to say these. North Carolina forests are known for fall foliage. They are along the Appalachian Trail. oak, hemlock, poplar, pine, sycamore, beech, and dogwood trees. So you're seeing all the different types of lumber and trees that we have. And then we've got White Mountain, home to Mount Washington, a peak that boasts high winds, heavy snow. It's in New Hampshire. Contains maple trees, oak trees, hemlock, pine, birch, spruce, and fir. All of these are used for different things. So that's what's very unique. Does anybody know in Texas what trees we are known for? We have a lot of mesquite trees in the Panhandle area, West Texas. We also have a lot of oak trees, live oaks in Texas, and pecan trees. So those are some of the main trees that Texas is known for. So we're going to talk about forestry. You need to know woodlots. Woodlot management is an agriscience related career. Woodlot is just where they're privately owned forests for lumber. So you could go and you could do a career to be in charge of a woodlot and run forestry. You're probably, if you want to stay in Texas, you're probably going to be East Texas or even have to go into Arkansas. So you're in charge of making sure that the trees are growing well. One bad disease, you don't want it to wipe out your whole forestry industry. So there's a lot of science that needs to go to that, and you need to be on top of it. It says livestock can also be a harm to forest because cows and sheep are not picky eaters, so they may eat the small young seedlings that are starting to grow. So you've got to watch out for that too. At my house, we are trying to grow a bunch of trees. So what we do is we build little fence cages around all of the trees, and that helps protect them from the cows. Not only do they like to eat them, but they like to rub up on them and the goats, and this helps protect those trees to grow. So next it talks about water, aquaculture. Aquaculture is cultivation of aquatic life and plants. So people that work in the fishery, so they raise fish for us to eat. Okay, not all of that is just caught in the pond or caught in an ocean. It's farmed just like livestock, beef cattle are. So it includes human-made and natural fisheries. And we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you examples of the 3 most common ways to harvest fish or shellfish. Okay, so the first one is open ponds, rivers, streams, or bays. These can be natural or human-made. The bodies of waters are purposely stocked with whatever they're wanting to harvest. So catfish is a really good example of these. So right here, I've got a picture. This is a catfish farm. I know in Athens, which is East Texas, they've got a really large fish farm that you can go and look at. In Arkansas, they have a lot, and I reference that because my husband's family's from there, and they used to farm catfish. And so if you go out to Arkansas, southeast Arkansas, where they're from, you'll see a lot of ponds that look like this. Those are raising catfish for us to eat. And what they usually do in Arkansas, fun fact, why it's the duck hunting capital of the world, is because when they harvest the fish out of there, duck like to land on there and they'll let people hunt there. But that is an open pond where they're going to raise a lot of catfish. Then whenever they get to a certain weight, they're going to go in with a big net and tractor and harvest those fish and sell them. Okay, the next one is caged culture fisheries. They require a lot larger investment than just ponds. They've got a lot of cages, and you've got to have flowing water that can move their waste away. So salmon are really often farmed in this manner. You've got to really stay on top of the water and the water quality because they are in a cage. You don't want it to get stale or them to lose oxygen. So here's some examples of cage fishing. So you can see some examples there. Similar to open, but not so much. They keep them in those cages, and then they just lift them up, and that's how they harvest them. And then the last one is going to be recirculating tanks. So it works really well whenever you don't have access to the kinds of water systems that support aquatic life. So you could be somewhere not near the ocean or not near a lot of fresh water and have it with recirculating tanks. And that's going to be like this. So where the water is just going. And And a lot of people are moving to this because you can do it anywhere. So a lot of salmon are being switched over to this method. And you can see kind of the way that it goes right there. That water is just recirculating in there, keeping fresh flow of oxygen and nutrients. And we're not getting into it right now, but people have gone on and they've made to where plants can grow on top of this as well. But we'll get into aquaponics later. All right. So those are the three main methods of working in aquaculture. Again, that's another unique career. You could go to Texas A&M and pursue a degree in aquaculture and learn all about managing a fishery. And there's all kinds of jobs to be had there.